playable race was going to be the demons. We found as we tried to start putting the demons in the game that by trying to make them a playable race, we ended up doing a really big disservice to them. In the very first Warcraft 3 teaser we put out when we announced the title, we had this great scene of this orc and this human going at it and fighting out, and then this fiery rock comes from the sky, and out comes this huge demon. It's like 5 times as big. He rises up out of the ground, and the human and orc are, kind of frighteningly looked up. We found that when we tried to start making the demons a playable race, you didn't get that effect anymore, because you have to come up with some demon unit that, for whatever reason, decides it wants to go mine gold or something. And the demons really probably don't give a rip about that. They want, they're there to dominate and rule. And the idea of them having to build a tech tree and do all this stuff really tended to minimize them as a factor in the game. So we went through and looked at that and said, I think we really thought that everybody would be, and the players, the campaigns, would be much better served by having this kind of omnipresent force in the game that be represented by big, massive uber units. So when you ran across one of them in the game, it had some real meaning and impact. So we went to 4 playable races. It's kind of funny. A lot of the people on the team are like, "Oh, now we're not going to have 5. We're only going to have 4." And then they started realizing, "Oh, and that's one more than StarCraft." Wow, that's going to be a lot of work. So, and that also allowed us then to go through and take some of those ideas that we had for some of the lower level units, the demons, and see if they worked other places. And it really led to, I think, it led the discussion in a way to have a much better refining of the 4 races that were there, as opposed to trying to spread that out. We kind of used this idea, this term of concentrated coolness. It's like, by having 4 and not 5, then we're like, okay, well, then these 4 have to be, really kick-ass. So what do we do to make sure that, what do we do to ensure that? And so it kind of gave the designers another pass through those and really had them punch up a lot of the units that were there. At the same time, we were able to keep the demons as this Burning Legion, as this force within the game that we hope is truly awe-inspiring, as opposed to trying to figure out why they want to go out and get gold.